We're live again after the intro. What's going on, everyone? Happy Monday. Happy beginning of your guys' week. As always, hopefully everyone's doing great, amazing. Hopefully the week's starting off good. A new month, May. Obviously, it was last week, but last time I saw you, May. Hopefully, whatever you guys going on in life, whatever is taken care of. But for the next 40 to an hour, lock in with me right here. We'll get into it. I'll entertain you guys the best that I can. But as always, hopefully you're putting in that work. Hopefully everything is being taken care of. Your mentals and your chickens is being taken care of. Um, but whatever you got going on, know that is you're gonna get through it. I'm proud of you. Keep pushing yourself. Keep going. But let's begin the show. Obviously, as always, in the world of sports, what can we say? A lot of things happen, and a lot of things did happen this past weekend. So, Madrid fans, come on in. Obviously, it's a very, very, very safe space for you guys here. But let's get started. So, Hala Madrid, Hala Madrid, Madridistas, they lock in another title. They seal it. Real Madrid seals the La Liga title this past weekend. Barca unfortunately loses. Real Madrid wins their match. And right now, they're the champs of Spain. Obviously, I believe their big focus going forward right now is the Champions League. They have a tough match this week against Bayern. They did tie 2-2, but they are the better side, the stronger side. They have the players. They don't got to worry about La Liga anymore. Their main focus is Champions League. But congratulations to all my Madridistas, my Madrid people. Enjoy it. Enjoy this victory. Enjoy this title. I know you guys are the most humble fans in the world. You guys never rub it in, to your adversary. Very humble, very modest group. I know you guys, it's just another one in the bag. Business as usual. Nothing to brag about. Madrid fans, enjoy it, celebrate, and continue being the modest fans that you guys are. Um, you know, the number one fan that I know, obviously Alberto, the most modest person I know, never likes to talk smack. Very centered, very meticulous, not flamboyant. Obviously, what can we say about the rat? Same thing, the rat. I don't think I've ever heard him talk shit. He's just very modest, calm, you know, about his business. So, congratulations, Madrid fans. Congratulations. Amazing team. No BS aside. What an amazing team. Midfield, Bellingham, Valverde, Modric still playing out of his mind, close to 40 years old. Vinny, the defense, even their goalkeeper, they did lose. I mean, think about it. Militao didn't play most of the season. Courtois got injured most of the season. And, business as usual, they kept going and they're only going to get better next season. We'll see. Mbappe coming. We've talked about this. So, Madrid fans, enjoy it. But as Kobe said, job ain't finished. There's still one more title that they're looking forward to, and that's the Champions League. In other league news, we go to England now. It looks like there's a two-horse race for the Premier League title between Arsenal and Manchester City. Arsenal, they took care of business. They're, obviously, I'm a Chelsea fan, and Arsenal's one of our rivals, but they're handling business. They're not doing their famous, choke. They're not doing the Arsenal way. They keep winning. And, they do have a game up and have against City. All City needs to do is win their last three, and they're the champions. As Arsenal only has two more games. So, and Arsenal, they do have the tougher fixtures going forward. They do, I mean, we'll get into it, but they do face Manchester United this weekend, I believe. This weekend, then they got Everton. So those are the last two matchups that they got. As we saw today, we'll get into Manchester United, but you could say they have the tougher last two games. City, on the other hand, um, they have West Ham, who Chelsea defeated, and Fulham. But I believe Tottenham away. That I think that's really tough as well. Tottenham away. Tottenham wants to win because they want Champions League football. So it's up in the air. But all City has to do is win their last three and they're champs. All Arsenal can do is win their last two games, and hope that Man City gives away some points, and that could be at Tottenham. And wouldn't that be crazy? Tottenham doing Arsenal the solid by defeating Man City or taking away some points. But as always, as we always talk about, even though in the Champions League there is no English teams left, I believe is one of the best leagues in the world, the Premier League. Any given day, as we saw today. Before we get there, let's talk about my Chelsea. My Chelsea 5-0 against West Ham. And they're seventh now with hopes. I think for sure, we'll play Conference League. So for sure we're gonna get Europe. Actually, I don't want to jinx it because things that happen, but the Conference League is there. Now, obviously Champions League, very tough. Spurs would have to lose out. Aston Villa would have to lose out, and we would have to win. It looks tough. No Champions League. Now, Europa League, that would be, I think, for me, it would leave at least something to be proud of this team going to Europa League. How this season has been for Chelsea. It's a tough season, but at the last couple games, except the Arsenal one, we've been playing well. Obviously, the emergence of Cole Palmer, our best player of the year, definitely. But if we win, we could finish seventh or sixth at best. I'll take that, especially after all the crap I've been hearing, especially you Manchester United fans, how Chelsea's a mid-table team, 10th, and hey, if I look at the standings today, just today, we're ahead of Manchester United. How the tables have turned, but no victory yet. I am not a Manchester United fan. The season's not over. I am not gonna celebrate yet, but something to look forward to. And but my thoughts on the game, man. I feel obviously Cole Palmer did his Cole Palmer things. Madueke had an amazing game. I was happy that Thiago Silva was probably going to get these last couple games to honor him. We honored him last week. Amazing captain, amazing defender. Jackson, he's been scoring. Obviously, he scored a sitter and a 1v1, but we used to seeing him miss a lot of goals, so I'm happy he's at least scoring the easy ones. But he's been scoring. He got two this past weekend. And overall, let's keep this momentum for next season. And Kunku, he's been getting some minutes now, back from injury. Someone, I was a little disappointed this season with the injuries. I thought he was going to be our best player of the season, but it ended up being Palmer. So if he gets 100%, Palmer and him, something to look forward to next season for all my Chelsea fans out there. See what we got today. Jackson is still last. I agree 100%, but he's scoring what he has to. It doesn't mean that I'm Team Jackson and I look forward to him next season. We need a striker, someone that could be reliable in front of goal. But it's better than him missing those sitters. Now, today, another team played. A team that is probably my most hated team in the world. More hated than the Cowboys, Seahawks, Madrid. And that is Manchester United safe space today. Today is a safe space for all my Manchester United fans in the world. It's okay. You lost 4-0. And I'm going to tell you why it's okay. Crystal Palace is obviously fighting not to be relegated so it was a tough matchup. Keep your head up high, Manchester United fans. Obviously, they're playing for their lives. It wasn't your guys' fault. You guys played well. This is a safe space for you guys. No problem. Next week, you guys should get it done. I mean, you guys will be playing Arsenal. Oh, that one's tough. It might be another 5-4. I mean, we got 5. You guys might get 6. Who knows? But Manchester United, nothing brings more joy than on my break looking the score, and it was 2-0 first half, smile on my face, and just thinking of, all right, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to jinx it. They might come back. And then, I see the group chat and it's 4-0, and I'm like, oh my God, it happened. Their ass. Trash United. Ooh, amazing. Amazing day today. Shout out. Obviously, I don't know a lot of Manchester United fans because one of my boys, Vic Mota, to be exact, so you guys know who he is. Obviously, we've talked about him, the biggest Chelsea fan. Obviously, he's not focused on Manchester United. I don't think he knows about Manchester United, about their history, about their players. Um, you know, he's all about Chelsea, so it wouldn't be him. But other than that, I don't know Manchester United fan. I don't know they exist anymore. The past 15 to 10 years, Manchester has been Manchester City. So all these young kids, they know Manchester as blue, baby blue to be exact. They don't know about Manchester United. Manchester United has become, kind of like the Cowboys. But like I said, please hope that Chelsea do not finish above them, because that show's gonna be an amazing show. I cannot wait. Hopefully I can get someone on. But Manchester United, continue being you. You are loved, you are appreciated. You know, it's Manchester United. That's what they're all about now. Mediocre, trash. Um, I don't know. I'm just happy today. I'm very happy today. Amazing day. But let's get into it. Let's start the blaming. Obviously, question from yours truly, Alberto. We got to talk about Man U and Ten Hag. Ronaldo was right. He was the solution, not Ten Hag. Obviously, it ended sourly between Ronaldo and Manchester United when he first got signed. Obviously, Manchester fans were excited. The reunion, Ronaldo, he was still Ronaldo. He was coming off Juventus. He was still one of the best players in the world. And his first season, he did well. I think he was in part of the team of the season. And Ronaldo was right. Ronaldo was always right. Hashtag Ronaldo goal, one of the goals. Um, and I feel like Ten Hag, he reminds me, I don't know, Manchester United fans tell me, it seems like he's those type of coaches that you have to do it his way, or else, he's gonna either bench you, or he's gonna make it seem like you're the problem, and he doesn't have accountability. He reminds me of a Kyle Shanahan. But obviously, for Manchester United, I mean, they're not competitive anymore. They become a joke now. They are, like I said, they're not even the best team in Manchester anymore. All that history. Um, I don't know. I think it's time. I don't know. You know, Sancho leaves. He flourishes in Borussia semifinal. Ronaldo, he's still a goal. Obviously, he plays in Saudi Arabia. Many players have left. They've, I think, like David Blean. I think he plays somewhere else now, and he's doing okay. So we'll see what they do. What happened to Rashford? I mean, he was supposed to be like the next big thing in England, and yeah, I don't know. I don't hear much about him anymore. We Bruno. I think he's been the only solid player, but still, that chipmunk looking guy. I mean, he always be crying. So, but I don't know. I'm just, like I said, today is a wonderful day. The sun's out. Things are going great. Um, we get to relax, enjoy our times together, and Manchester United lost. So thank you, Manchester United. I appreciate all you do for non-Manchester United fans. Um, keep doing your thing. Keep doing y'all thing. But we move forward. We move forward. Um, let's talk about, next 2 days, Champions League semifinals, second leg. I'll be the first. I was surprised. I thought PSG, like I had called PSG, and I had said a tough matchup between Bayern and Real, but I had Real 2-1. It was 2-2, but Borussia comes out victorious 1-0. Balls in the court. If they're able to score one, makes it interesting. Another one puts the pressure on PSG. They can start making mistakes, but if PSG is able to score early, I believe PSG will handle it. I believe Mbappe has one last, like I said, hurrah with PSG. But anything can happen. Borussia, if they're able to defend well, strike, when the opportunities are given, we could see them in the final. Now for the other leg, Bayern, Real Madrid. This one's going to be like no disrespect to PSG and Borussia, but on paper, whoever wins this semifinal matchup, it's most likely going to be the Champions League champ, right? We got Tuchel's Bayern, nothing to play for, obviously, in the Bundesliga anymore. All their marbles are in this Champions League matchup. Tuchel has the experience. He's been to two Champions League finals. The one he won, like I said, he beat Real Madrid in the semifinal. Does he have one more ace up his sleeve? Could be. As my boy George, like I said, he's our fellow Bayern Arsenal fan. He claims that the players are playing for themselves, but like I said, Tuchel has the experience. He's been in these games before. We'll see how this matchup ends. It could be another nail biter. It could be another banger. But then we got Madrid. They have won their championship in La Liga. They don't got to worry about that anymore. They're focused on the Champions League. But the players they have, I still think they come on top. I still think they take care of business. I see. What do I see? Let me get my Doctor Strange. Many outcomes. I see a Real Madrid 3-2. They progress. They go to the final. Jude de Oro, Bellingham. I see a Vini goal somewhere in there. So that would leave, right? I still think so my prediction for the final, Real Madrid, PSG, the Mbappe Cup. And once we get to that point, I'll give my prediction how this game is going to come through. But I mean, it's pretty obvious who I'm going to go with. But we'll see. We'll see. Champions League, guys, the best football. I think, it's the best, basically the best of the best players going up against each other. The Champions League is everything, many emotions. Throughout the history of the Champions League, we've seen many different outcomes, many upsets, many things can happen. But tomorrow and Wednesday should be a good one. Other things that happened this weekend that I was pleasantly surprised that Real, FCB, and Javi are in Germany right now. Who winning the CONCACAF Champions League? Oh, actually, damn, Bonnie, thank you for reminding me. I didn't make it a topic. I forgot. I knew I forgot something, but I'm writing down the topic right here. What an amazing day to be Vic, huh? If you guys know Vic, tell him shout out, But I got you guys here right here. So my poderosos, los Tuzos, they defeated America in the semifinal to progress to the final against surprise, right? Well, not surprise, but Columbus, they were able to defeat Monterrey. So Columbus, Pachuca, CONCACAF Champions League final. Obviously, I was happy that day that Pachuca got to defeat America. Obviously, if you follow Mexican soccer, it's either we'll get to Inter Miami as well, 5 assists from the goal. But if you in Mexico, right, either you go for America or you hate America. And if your team defeats America, because Americanistas, they were comparing themselves to they're like we're the Real Madrid of the Americas. And humble Pachuca, always coming in, and they have a great record against America. We've already beat them in the final. We beat them in the semifinal. My Pachuca, my Tuzos, they're in the final. If they're able to win, they get to go to the World Cup, potentially meet a Real Madrid, and maybe do something a little bit more that Mexican teams have never done in the Club World Cup. But that day was very happy. I was very happy, and I had to, like I said, I had to message my boy Vic, just remind them, who's daddy. I always like to remind them who's daddy. He thinks he's this tough guy, but he ain't shit. He knows that. I look down upon him always. So, Vic, I hope you watch. I hope you're having an amazing shift at work, Vic. I hope everything's going well. I hope you have difficult clients today. I hope they don't tip you. I just hope everything goes bad for you today. I really do. They're playing each other in La Liga MX. Oh yeah, and They might get their revenge, or we might handle business again. We'll see. But the goal had 5 assists. Obviously, Messi, the one and only goal. 5 assists with Inter Miami rolling in the MLS, looking like Messi could add that to his many prestigious and many awards and trophies he's won over his years playing football. Sorry. Um, who else won? Our local team, the Earthquakes. They won as well. Yay! They beat LAFC. Ooh, yay! I still don't know any of the Earthquakes players. I don't know who's their star player. I think is the winger, right? Espinosa, I believe. They could have signed Ochoa, who I just heard is going to be the first signing of San Diego, whatever the MLS team is called. Like I said, the Earthquakes, even though Ochoa's probably past his prime, but they need a signing like that. They need, you know. But hey, I mean, I will give them this. It did look popping at Levi's. They played at Levi's. It did look like they still fill up. Fans still go, but it would be nice if they were good. It would be nice, to root, to actually get involved with the Earthquakes. Earthquakes, if you're watching this, sponsor me a sponsorship, and I'll talk great about the Earthquakes. Or my average 10 to 20 viewers that watch this, we'll fill up that stadium. That's all it takes. And of the 20 people that we take, they big drinkers, so they'll enjoy their time. Lamine Jamal might get sold to the MLS. Barca needs cash fast. Yikes. I don't know if you're capping, but that's a big cap because say what you want. Lamine Jamal is very young. I don't think, obviously, an MLS team would want him, but I would think many European teams, if he was up for sale, would pay a lot of money to take him from Barcelona. I would take him I know, Cap. I know you're capping, but if he's up for sale, Chelsea, vámonos. But funny as fuck. True, true. Chelsea, vámonos. Put in that platinum card. Let's take him. That would be great. I think he's gonna be good. Like I said, he's 16 years old. He's already kind of big. He's gonna get bigger. Pause. No diddy. But like I said, there would be many European teams that would buy him ASAP, take him off their hands if he was for sale. But let's get into Cinco de Mayo week. Cinco de Mayo weekend. Obviously, Canelo versus Munguia. My thoughts. So, like I said, at first, I had heard a lot about this Munguia, about how he was good. He was good. I had never heard of him, but I've heard that he was good. He was okay, and I was very impressed with how he fought Canelo. They stood there and bang. I gave him the first 3 rounds. I thought he was up, but we know Canelo. Canelo likes to study his opponent. He likes to take advantage of openings when he sees it, and fortunately for him, the experience played in his favor. And he was setting up things. He was getting hit, but I feel like he's smart. He was setting it up. He was giving him confidence, and then we saw what happened in the 4th round. I believe he dropped him with the uppercut. I saw that he probably wanted to drop him with the liver, but the uppercut got him cool. But man, Munguia, he showed a lot of heart. He did take the couple middle rounds off, or like he was kind of a little hesitant, but at the end, he was still throwing. He hit Canelo good. But man, first off, let's talk about Canelo, man. He is this generation's GOAT, greatest of all time boxer. This guy, man, what a boxer. He looked as good as I've ever seen him, because this was tough. He was getting hit, and man, let's talk about his chin. Pause. I don't know if that deserves a pause, but he could take it. Pause. That's definitely a pause. He could take he could take the shots. He ate them. He didn't look rattled. I've never seen him like kind of like buzzed. And he fought smart. He took his chances. He saw his openings. He didn't look tired at all. And what's next for him? I mean, obviously, I think we all want the Benavides fight. I saw today that they're trying to work. I don't know if it's true, but I saw today Canelo versus Crawford. I don't know at what weight. Obviously, Crawford would have to move up, but that would be, man, a mega super duper fight. And man, it would be tough to call. I mean, Crawford, we saw what he did to Errol Spence, but Canelo's Canelo. But the more I think about it, the more I feel like he would handle Benavides. But he has like I said, Canelo, man, he can do whatever he wants. He could retire tomorrow, and he did a lot for boxing, undisputed. Um, but my hats off to him. Always brings on the show. Cinco de Mayo, Viva Mexico, cabrones. The go now, Munguia. I feel like this fight, he's gonna learn a lot from it. He's gonna improve. He's gonna be way better, and he's a name to watch out. Hopefully, in his press, in the post, when they interviewed him, he felt a little down because he had never lost. He had fought. He's fought a lot, 42 fights, and he had like 38 knockouts. But man, he just has like Canelo when he lost to Mayweather. He just has to learn from it. I feel he's gonna be a name to watch. I think he has that Mexican style of you know he just goes out there, tries to knock you out. He's good. He's still young, so my hats off to him. I feel like kind of made a name for himself even with the loss. I think Canelo respected him on one of them, right? I don't know if you guys saw Canelo. Like I think he rocked him cool and he like held him up by hugging him because I think he was gonna go down. So I think Canelo showed a lot of respect to him and didn't want to let him go out like that. I guess, but it was a good fight. I enjoyed the fight. I was surprised by the fight. They went at it, and it was an old school Mexican type fight. Um, Probably one of the better boxing matches I watched recently. So I know there was one today. I think the Rat. He sent me a video as this. I don't know his name, but I guess he's one of like the best. He's like this Asian boxer, and he knocked out. He got knocked down, but then he knocked out this other guy. Cool. But that's a name that they're throwing out there. I think he's in the lower weight classes, but I saw maybe a potential fight with Gervonta. That would be pretty cool. I'm a fan of Mugia after this fight. He won to watch for sure, definitely. Bunch of you know who I'm talking about? That like Asian boxer. Supposedly he's good. They call him like I think the monster or something. He just fought, I think today. He knocked out some dude. But supposedly he's like undisputed in like the lower division as well. But boxing, and I think we got in 2 weeks Fury versus Usyk. That's gonna be good. That's gonna be a banger. And then we got that super mega fight with Crawford and Andy Reese, and yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Yeah. So boxing's looking good. The UFC happened, this past weekend as well. A lot of people, they weren't really hyped about it, but there was some cool fights. Obviously, fan favorite, El Michel Pereira. That guy's crazy. He won, and but like while he fights, he did like a backflip elbow. But the main event was Pantoja Ursib, and from the like I said, we were watching the Canelo fight. We got to watch like the last two rounds. It looked pretty close. The judges were saying it was pretty close fight. Obviously, a lot of people don't like how Pantoja fights. A lot of takedowns. They say he's kind of boring, but I will say is, man, that guy he takes it again. Pause. He takes it. He takes punches. He's not afraid, to throw one and get one. And I felt like I said, another fighter, Usyk, ranked 10th in the flyweight division. His thing is striking, and I feel like it was catching them. He was hitting them, and I feel like the mistake he made in the fifth round was taking down Pantoja because then Pantoja just stayed with him the whole round on the floor, and you could tell that Usyk was kind of, he felt like he blew it. But another fighter that he's going to learn a lot from this loss, and he's still young. I believe he's only been in MMA for a year to already fight for a title. He'll be back. He'll be back. As for Pantoja, what's next? I mean, that's the thing on the flyweight, right? Brandon Moreno, I don't know where he's at mentally. He's had a couple losses. Then there's Raw Dog. He's all right, but he's not, I think Pantoja, I don't know, maybe Pantoja moves up to 35. Sean O'Malley. I don't know. I think Sean O'Malley pieces him up. But another one, Jose Aldo, he came back to UFC and he won his match. The King of Rio. And I guess a lot of fans, they after the Aldo fight, they left. They didn't stay for the Pantoja fight. So Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Pantoja that boring. What else do we got now in pop culture? What's been going on? I know people follow it. So this Drake versus Kendrick, who winning? Obviously, I guess they've been beefing, going back and forth, diss tracks, and as a Kendrick, he hit Drake with the back to back, and he said some things about Drake, and and I heard so Drake yesterday he came out with his response to that, and I don't know if you guys been following, I don't know if you've been hearing it, but I felt like Drake's comeback was kind of weak, kind of like, oh, you fell for the trap, we said all these things about me, but it's fake, haha, like, like it's not true, it's on you, can't believe you took it, haha. And I think the one thing that they're clowning Drake was, Kendrick has been talking about, that he's a pedo and all that. He never named names, but then Drake's like, "Oh, you think, I was with Millie Brown, the 11, the girl from Stranger Things?" And everyone's like, "Yo, Kendrick never mentioned her. Like, why are you bringing that up? Like, te estás quemando solo." And I felt like it was kind of, like Drake's like, like when you're getting clowned on, you're like, "Oh, but you're a bitch, ha ha ha." Like, "Oh, but you're a bitch." Whatever. I'm not even tripping about this. So we'll see how Kendrick replies. That's the thing. Like Drake, amazing songs. He bangers, club bangers. That's what he's known for. Obviously, I think to the public, he's a little bit more famous than Kendrick. But man, Kendrick, he different. He a lyricist. He raps. I wouldn't want, like J Cole said. He said, "Man, I ain't trying to be in this beef. I'm out. Peace. Have a good one." And it looks like you know, he he did the thing. Eric and I are tapping in to say hello from SD. Canelo's a real one. Love his commentary. Both are great fighters. My favorite is when he cusses people out in English. What did he say to Deloy? You motherfucker, pussy. Kendrick all the way. When is the Tony versus Gio Mexican Independence Day 2025 in the Sphere, Bunny? Um, we're doing it in the Sphere. Right now, I'm cutting weight. I'm down 25 pounds, trying to make the heavyweight limit. I know my boy Tony, he working, so we're trying to set that up. Triple threat match, me, Tony, and Vic. Tables, ladders, and chairs. We're gonna be flying 619, backflips, todo. Drake fucking up by getting too into it. Eminem did it better when he just didn't respond and then it in one blow. It's just Drake, he a little sensitive, he got hit where it hurts. He wants to respond, but like I said, Kendrick different. You don't want to mess with someone like that. Like with Meek Mill, got you at the Golden One Center también, light the beam there too. Flick the beam, como dicen. But he different. I think Kendrick, got in his head. And, I want to see if he replies what he's going to say. But I think for right now, I think Kendrick won. But I know a lot of Drake fanboys. I don't know, Rubens, the Davis, y'all here. But I think your boy, he took the L on this one. He's still an amazing artist. We're going to enjoy his music. He might come out with an amazing album. But Kendrick, he different. He different. Um, would you like the 49ers to go back to San Francisco? They should have never left San Francisco. They could have built a stadium kind of where the Warriors build their arena, by the bay. That would have been amazing. Because they're San Francisco 49ers. Obviously, they have it at Levi's. Levi's not everyone's cup of tea, not everyone's favorite, especially in the summer. It gets really hot. There's no shade. And you kind of actually so at the bank, I actually was talking to the senora. She's a season ticket holder, and obviously I'm a season ticket holder as well. And I was just chatting up, and she was like, that she's been there since Candlestick, and the aura of Candlestick, even though it was not the nicest of stadium, Candlestick was just different. And obviously she's older, um, and she was just saying how now she feels it's all business. They actually bumped up her pricing for her seats, and that which they did. And for some people, depending on what section, they bumped it up like crazy, like not like 30 or 40 more dollars, like hundreds of dollars more. And obviously she got affected by that. But I would love for them, maybe not even in my lifetime, they'll go back to SF. Maybe when I'm older, they might. But obviously, Jed, he wanted the city of Santa Clara to pay for the stadium, and they did, and now they beefing. But yes, they should definitely go back to SF. Not Meek Mill can't get his voice. Oh, Pepe's where you at? P Diddy, Meek Mill. Damn, I heard it's not real. I heard, but I can't get that now. I can't get it on my head. Pobrecito Meek Mill, he always catching nails. Um, Before we get to our Star Wars section, let's finish up the rest of the questions. Son, no, hell no. Ooh. Okay, what old school La Liga MX jersey would you bring back? That's a great question, Bonnie. Mm, one that comes to mind. I used to like. I wonder if I can share my screen. What's like the popular one? One that came to mind was like the old Cruz Azul one that had like the. Let me see if I can find it. That's one. Obviously, my dad's a Cruz Azul fan, so that one comes to mind. I was gonna say tacos too. The Jack in the Box tacos looking one. Yeah, just for the bands. There's a let's see, tacos jersey. Yeah, like this one. De Loco Abreu. Let me share my screen. This one here, huh? That one's a classic. Mm, there's that. There's which other one was? I feel like we're missing one. Mm, I used to like when Pachuca was Nike. This one used to be a cool ass jersey. That one. Or the all black one. See, no, like back in the day, like they used to be Puma, esa también, popping. This one, I remember I had this one. This one right here, and that's the golden era of Pachuca. Toros Nesa, the red one. Oh yeah, this one right here. That's a banger. That's a banger right there. The old school Toros Nesa. Is that team still? They're a different team, huh? Then they got Pony Reese. Shout out Pony Reese. That fool quarterback way. He'll cross it like if he was throwing it with his hand. Yeah, those are good ones right there. Now let's talk about all right. If I had to pick a Chivas for my Chivas fans, Chivas. Let's see, old school. What do you guys? Did you guys used to like the one that had like I don't know, like what's it called? Like it looked like a shoe horse. I don't know if you. Let's see if I can find it here. I didn't like that one, but this one brings back memories. The Bofo Chicharito days. This one right here. That's the old one. That's a banger. Which other one? This one too, the Omar Bravo days. That's what I remember. Now, también you America fans. For America, the one I used to like, even though it's America. Oh damn! Don't want to don't want to get canceled. America soccer team jersey. Pumas too. Oh, Pumas too. Oh, American. Sorry, can't even Google America because they're ass. Mm, I mean, they're kind of. I mean, this kind of ass. Honestly, America's they don't got banger jerseys. There's some though. This one, I like this one. Less yellow. This one's all right too. That blue one's cool. This is the Cuauhtemoc days. This one's not bad. But let's see, Pumas. Hmm. This one, the Palencia days, when they went like back to back champs. That yeah, Pumas had cool jerseys too. Doesn't be that symbol, right? Like that's a banger jersey. Like even if you don't know who Pumas is, just having that, I think, is what makes it majestic. This one's not bad, but they got Mekis. Bring those jerseys back. Throwbacks. Everyone loves throwbacks. Now we get to the best part, the Star Wars section. So let's take. So obviously it's been 25 years since Star Wars Episode One, and let's look back the prequels. So for us, our age, this is what we grew up on with Star Wars, right? The prequels: Episode One, Phantom Menace; two, Attack of the Clones; three, Revenge of the Sith. And from there, there are different cartoons and stuff like that. But now, as we're older, right? It's been 25 years since Episode One, and they're not as bad as a lot of people talked about. They have many from it. There has been branches of different storylines, especially now. We got the different shows that they've come out with, different animated series that they just build upon that type of storytelling that they had characters. And like I said, for us, this is our introduction to Star Wars, and for me, it always has a place in my heart. The prequels, from the Jar Jar Binks, the pod raising scene, Jango Fett, obviously Revenge of the Sith, which is probably one of the best Star Wars movies. Especially in the prequels, is the best one. Mace Windu with the purple lightsaber, finally getting to see Yoda actually duel someone with his lightsaber. Uh, you know, what other characters are missing? Darth Maul, a fan favorite. When probably the best lightsaber duel scene ever, Episode One, Obi Wan, Qui Gon Jinn, Darth Maul. Did I say Darth Vader? I meant Darth Maul. The dual lightsaber, that was so cool, red and black. So let's give props to the prequels. Look up the two. I've seen that one. I definitely have. Um, so with that being said, let's jump into it. These Star Wars topics that I've come up with. So obviously, let's start off with, let's see, Anakin and, no, be careful. But yes, I would have loved to. No, I'll stop there. I'll stop there. Best Star Wars movie and why? So obviously, I think the easy answer, Empire Strikes Back, just because is obviously not just the best Star Wars movie, but it's probably one of the best sequels to any movie ever. Maybe The Dark Knight is up there, but man, Empire Strikes Back has the famous line of all time everywhere quoted, no, Luke, I am your father. You find a spoiler alerts, has been 40, almost 50 years, but spoiler alerts, Darth Vader, aka Anakin Skywalker, is Luke Skywalker's father. And you get that moment. You get the moment where in this movie is the first movie where you're like, what? The heroes don't win, it ends in question marks. Obviously Luke is trained by Yoda. He finds out, some Jedi training. He gets pulled back because his friends are in danger because the Empire has trapped him in Cloud City. You find out Lando Calrissian isn't really a friend and betrays Han Solo, Leia, Chewbacca, and Han Solo gets frozen in carbonite. And that's how the movie ends, with Luke's hand chopped off. You don't know if Han Solo, is okay. You meet Boba Fett, who's one of my favorite characters of all time. What an amazing movie. But for me, Revenge of the Sith is up there. We get the tie-in, how does Anakin fall to the dark side? We get how did the Jedis, the protectors of the peace for many thousands of years, how are they tricked, by the Dark Lord of the Sith, Palpatine, Darth Sidious? You see all that play out. You see the clone troopers, you know, betray their Jedi commanders, and as you get more into that, in the movie, it just makes it seem like these clone troopers didn't care. They're following orders, but they had, feelings as well. They actually grew attachments to their Jedi commanders during the Clone Wars. And as you get more into the lore, books, TV series, some of them it hurt killing their fellow Jedi commanders and betraying them. But something in their brain, that was put in place to fulfill Order 66. And obviously the infamous Anakin Skywalker, killing younglings. And I think that would have been cool, in which we've gotten throughout these Disney series, especially the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. We see Anakin, actually killing Jedi's and, being that Darth Vader that hunts down, the Inquisitor. He has Inquisitors that hunts down Jedi, takes them down. But Revenge of the Sith, I mean, that got to be up there too. The midichlorians, episode one. And let's talk about episode one. So I think not just Darth Maul, but I believe Qui-Gon Jinn, I would have loved to see more of him, his character, when we get to know what he's all about. He wasn't really, by the book as a Jedi. He believed in, different approaches. Obviously, he feels, pause, he senses that Anakin Skywalker is the chosen one. And usually you're trained as a Jedi at a younger age. Anakin, I believe, is probably like 10, 11 years old. Jedis aren't really, or like the council isn't really up for, you know, training him. They feel he's too old. They feel he's too unpredictable. They sense the darkness, the fear, which leads to the dark side. But, I think that if Qui-Gon Jinn didn't die when he died in episode one, again, spoiler alerts if you haven't watched Star Wars, maybe he would have, protected Anakin or been the right teacher for him not to go to the dark side, not to doubt the Jedi Council, not to feel, not to grow too attached, because that's the downfall of Anakin is he doesn't like to see the people around. He doesn't like to lose the people around him. Episode two, he loses his mom. He kills all the Tusken Raiders. And episode three, spoiler alert, his fear is losing the love of his life, Padme, Queen Amidala. But his own fear of it is her downfall. Unfortunately, him trying to protect her, him trying to prevent the people that he loves to die, is what causes her to die. Because her seeing him turn to the dark side, which is kind of weird, cheesy, that she lost the will to live, even though she just birthed two children. Like, wouldn't she have the will to live for her children? But anyways, whatever. But I don't know. I think, and then there's more to him, to Qui-Gon, and I feel like it could have been a potential, maybe you eventually do kill him off, and maybe that's what leads Anakin to the dark side. Seeing his master get killed and not protected by the Jedi leads Anakin to question the Jedi way, the mindset, and leads him to the path to the dark side. But we'll see. Okay, what do you think? Should they continue expanding the universe or just start from scratch and make it continuous? Great question, Alberto. I'm at first I wasn't interested. So obviously they're now coming out next month with that show, The Acolyte, which is set 100 years before the Phantom Menace. You get to see the Jedi's in their prime, and I guess the birth of the Sith, right? So I'm interested in that. But Disney right now, they're very woke, I would say. But I'm interested. I enjoyed Andor. I like those stories like Andor. I enjoyed the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, even though I had my things. Man, just seeing Hayden Christensen play Anakin Skywalker again, that last battle with Obi-Wan, which we'll get into later on, my thoughts. But I think they should do like these little side stories they do. They just came out with animated I believe Tales of the Republic, which was good. And it was with characters that we saw a little bit throughout the different shows and movies, that they build their characters up, and it was really good. So if you haven't watched it, you guys should watch it. It's an animated one. They're very short. They're like 15 minutes long. They had one a couple years ago, which was Tales of the Jedi, which expands more of Count Dooku and Qui-Gon Jinn's relationship. Sorry if I'm nerding out, but if you're into Star Wars, like I said, watch these shows. They're good. But as for expanding more, I believe they're gonna expand more from the sequel trilogy. The sequel trilogy didn't do it for me. I feel like it was they didn't know where they were going. I felt that Force Awakens, I was intrigued by it. I actually, did enjoy that movie, and I was very intrigued to see how, what their plans were, but I felt like eventually they didn't know where to go, and they just said, "Let's bring back Palpatine. He didn't die, and let's make her Rey's grandfather." Okay. Um, and I felt like, Kylo Ren's character could have been more. I feel like he had more potential. A person that's in the dark side, but fighting basically he's trying not to be good because deep down inside he's actually good, but he wants to be bad. I think that they could have expanded more on his character. They left a lot on the table. I mean, your own uncle tried to kill you because he didn't want to train you because he thought you were too powerful. That doesn't honestly sound like Luke Skywalker. I mean, Luke Skywalker is at that time the best of the Jedi's. I mean, but anyways, that's my thoughts on that. Um, This is another question I always hear. What order should you watch the Star Wars saga? So at first I was a big believer of watching it 1 through 6. I felt like, that was the right way to watch it. You see you build up the path of Anakin. You see how he turns to the dark side and is brought back by his son at the end of the 6. But the more I thought about it, I was like, maybe you should watch it 4, 5, and 6 so you get to know that character. Darth Vader, Obi-Wan, everyone. So then you go back and watch it, and you get, you already have an attachment to these characters, and then you see how how they were, how why he got led to that. And especially if you sprinkle in now like the Obi-Wan series and then Rogue One, which I always talk about. Rogue One is probably another good Star Wars movie that you should definitely check out, which ties in, how the rebels are able to get the plans to the Death Star, and it ties it in perfectly to the beginning of episode 4. But maybe, there's many ways of watching it. Obviously, if you sprinkle in, if you like the animated series, that even gives you more context. It gives you more attachment to certain characters we barely see. So one of the questions, that I have here, let's see, is the about Darth Maul. Obviously, if you just watch the movies, Darth Maul only shows up in episode 1 and he gets chopped in half, spoiler alert. But if you watch the animated series, he even comes out in the Han Solo movie at the end. They actually build this character up well. He got chopped in half, so throughout the Clone Wars, he wants to kill Obi-Wan because of him. He has suffered. Being cut in half, and eventually, his anger and rage towards Obi-Wan and Palpatine for basically deserting him, killing his family, his brother, leads him to meet Obi-Wan when Obi-Wan's older, and they'd have a final duel. Obi-Wan, he's older in Tatooine against Darth Maul. It ends pretty quick because at that point, Obi-Wan, he's, the master of Jedi's, handles Darth Maul, and they share a moment together. Even though they were foes, Darth Maul, asks Obi-Wan, is he the chosen one? In reference to Luke Skywalker. That's why you're here in Tatooine, to protect someone. And then, he passes on. Very poetic. Um, But like I said, there's a lot of things that not just the movies, shows, even video games that add more context to things that in this world, like there's many more things they could do. Um, let's talk about another one. Did Anakin actually bring balance to the Force? Did he really fulfill his destiny? So the point, right, to bring balance to the Force, that's what the prophecy said, But what does that actually mean? I mean, balance means, it's equal on both sides, right? Not, if let's say the Jedi's destroy the Sith, then there will be an imbalance. So a theory, and then this one I got to credit when I used to work many years ago, and I would nerd out with some of my coworkers. He mentioned that, Anakin did bring balance to the Force because in the movie, right, there's only two Jedi's left, Obi-Wan, Yoda, and there's two Siths left. And the rule of the Sith is always two. There's Sidious and Anakin, Darth Vader, Obi-Wan, Yoda. Obviously, there's other Jedi's later on that are in hiding, but wouldn't you say that's balance, right? Doesn't have to mean that, he's good or bad. He brought balance to the Force. But now, if you actually think about it, at the end, he does actually kill the Emperor, episode 6, spoiler alert. And he does, come back to the light side. So he kind of does, destroy the Sith at the end. So I believe, maybe he did fulfill his destiny. Obviously, there was ups and downs, but in life, there's always ups and downs. But eventually, he did, fulfill the prophecy of being the chosen one, because he did this. It took Palpatine almost killing his son for him to come to the light side, sacrifice himself to kill the Emperor. Let's see. And feel free to drop questions in the comments if you're interested in this, if you're finding this interesting, if you have your own thoughts, if you have your own things that you've enjoyed throughout your years of Star Wars. Obviously, May the 4th was a couple of days ago. Celebration, one of the best. You can see the background, Star Wars. And this one, what color would you make your lightsaber? And we touched on this. Should they made Darth Vader the villain for all three prequels? Um, Maybe not the main villain throughout the three prequels, but maybe he should have, had some, little cameos. But like I said, he is a big part of the animated series. He is a big part of the storyline from that. Um, and like I said, amazing character. But what color lightsaber? Purple for sure. And actually, when I went to Disneyland, I did the thing where you create your own lightsaber. So I have one here. Fortunately, the batteries ran out, but I did choose purple. But if you go to Disneyland, if you enjoy going to Disneyland, best experience. You build your own lightsaber. It's an amazing show. They make you feel like you're, a Jedi or a Sith building your own lightsaber. You choose your crystal, what color. There's a whole show about it. They talk about, different characters. So I recommend it. Yeah, so do that. But I would choose purple as my color, definitely. Mm, this one's interesting. Did Obi-Wan fail Anakin Skywalker? So obviously, we know the outcome. Obi-Wan Anakin fight, and Mustafar, he chops up Anakin, leaves him out for dead. And he believes that, his old Padawan, his old apprentice dies. He actually doesn't know who Darth Vader is, as you find out later on. He believes, that he failed Anakin. He could have been a better teacher. He let him fall to the dark side, and that weighs on him. And throughout the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, spoilers if you haven't watched it, he's kind of, he stops practicing, the Jedi ways, the Force. He's depressed, because he feels, I let down my brother, my friend, and I ended up having to kill him. And the high ground, he kept the high ground. He told him, but that weighs on him. And he finds out who Darth Vader is in the show. That he's his, old Padawan, and obviously now Darth Vader, he's enraged. He wants to kill Obi-Wan because of what he's been through. Now he's half a man tied to a machine that makes him breathe. Constant pain, the pain of losing the love of his life. He thinks he's lost his kids, and he's consumed by the darkness, by the dark side. But probably the best scene ever in the Star Wars ever is that last part where they fight one more time. Obi-Wan gets a better upper hand. He slices open half of Darth Vader's mask. You see Anakin, you see Darth Vader. His voice is muffled between the Earl Jones's voice, which is Darth Vader's voice, and Hayden Christensen's voice. And I believe that little bit of good that was in Anakin, he tells Obi-Wan, "You didn't fail me. You didn't kill." He tells him that he wasn't his failure, which takes away that pain and I guess I would just say the pain and responsibility that Obi-Wan felt away from him. And he tells him, I killed Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader. And then right there, Obi-Wan realizes that, Anakin is no longer alive. Darth Vader is alive. And he tells him, then I guess my friend is death. So long, Darth, instead of so long, Anakin. which is very interesting, which is Obi-Wan realizing that, Anakin is gone. Now it's only Darth Vader consumed by anger and rage until they meet in episode 4, where we know what happens. But very interesting question. Um, I guess to a point he probably did fail him. He maybe he was a little too hard on him, but Anakin, he was very confident, very cocky, and Obi-Wan, I think he did his best. But let's see, we're at the hour, and did I miss any questions? Thank you guys again. Obviously, if you were not a nerd and you were here for the sport, no hard feelings. I get it, but I'm also a nerd at heart, big nerd. Um, like I said, I'm open to talking about anything other than sports on this show. We can talk about anything. But I think that's why my love for Star Wars. I started young. It's just something, very magical to me. You get lost in it. You wish, you were in this universe. The Legos, obviously, I'm into Legos, the different Lego Star Wars, the games, the movies. It just brings me back to my childhood. And, I'm still a big child at heart. Uh, in my, 31 now, but I enjoy, Star Wars, being a child, getting lost in that universe. It makes you forget whatever you got going on. But that's my love for it. The movies were amazing. Like I said, brings me back to my childhood, my parents, showing me Star Wars, the older ones, taking me to watch. I remember going to see episode 1 in theaters, being mesmerized by it, the pod raising scene, the fight with, Duel of Fates playing while Darth Maul and Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, they fight. But my love for Star Wars will always continue as I go older till the day I die. But again, guys, I appreciate you guys sharing a 1 hour with me. Thank you again for everyone that showed up. I hope, like I said, you have an amazing week. We're at 83 subscribers, 17 more. We hit 100. I'll do a giveaway if we hit it. But make sure to like it right now. Like it, subscribe if you haven't, leave a comment, and podcast will be coming back soon. I know you guys enjoy them, love them. I just need guests. I just need to find people that want to be on it. So if you're out there, feel free, DM me. If you won't, you think you'll be interesting in a podcast, I'm all for it. So let me know. But again, thank you guys. I'll see you next week. Be safe. Peace.